challenge around with power in that last quarter. How do you assess that game?
Well, look, in the end, we got the challenge we thought we would. We'd looked at North closely, and they'd been delivering that throughout the first 3 weeks. So we knew that the heat would come. It was probably the second and third where they took control of the game, but really proud of our group to finish the way they did. We were confident if we were within striking distance at three-quarter time that we had the legs. We've shown a couple of weeks in a row now that we've done the work throughout that pre-season period, and the guys are fit and they can run games out. So really proud of the effort and the way they finished the game off.
How pleased were you to weather that storm in the second and third quarter? A lot of ball going inside 50, but your defence was able to stand up really well.
Yeah, we held on. We held on under immense pressure. We didn't quite get stoppage done in that quarter, so under a lot of pressure in our back half. And as you said, for our backs to stand up, we're probably lucky on occasion. At North, we're a little bit wayward in front of goal, but we spoke at length about our inefficiency going forward, which has been something we've actually done really well this year. We've been quite efficient going inside 50. Today didn't seem to be one of those days, especially in that second and third quarter. I think we matched the inside 50 count in the third, but just weren't able to put the score on the board. So we knew that if we were able to hang in there and go again in the last, we felt like if we got stoppage right, got the ball forward of centre, then we could, that we'd finish strong.
And you only won 3 games last year. You've already won 3 games in the first 4 rounds this year. How important is that for the group to start getting a reward on the win tally?
Yeah, the reward's great for our young group. It's to get across the line. This is a win on the road, so it's huge for our young group to win away from home. They're always ones you look at the start of the season. They're going to be tough matchups. A lot of our players hadn't played at Marvel before, so from that respect, it's great for reward. But the belief is the biggest part. They believe in themselves at the moment. They trust the work they've done. They embrace the game plan. By no means are we getting it perfect. That's the challenge of becoming a real contender, is to get it right for 4 quarters. We've got work to do in that area. We know it. We talk about it a lot. We're constantly working each week to improve areas of our game. But as you said, to win on the road, get the reward, more belief that we can grind. I mean, we were challenged in that third. We got behind. To finish the game off like we did, I thought a few guys really stood up late. Tommy Duday, who captained us today, with Sloaney out, I thought he was huge in that last quarter. But he's only able to do that when the team plays their roles. So a really good team effort.
And Darcy Foggy came in for his first game of the season. He did 3 goals, and I think only 5. Is that what you want to see from him? And he really nailed some big set shots when you needed him.
We were inefficient going inside 50, but if we got it to Das, we're okay. Thank goodness he had his kicking boots on. He played around the footy. We played him on ball for a fair bit of the day, and he had a specific role in there, which in the end, when you look at some of the numbers, he's actually had a better day than what it looks like from a stats point of view. So we'll keep working with Fog on what his game looks like and where we see him. But to be able to have multiple options with Fog is a bonus for us going forward. And I thought in around the footy today, he battled hard. It didn't show through in Mark's handballs, kicks. But we'll look back over the tape closely and just see how he went in that role.
Lucky show at 31, I think, the career best. You happy with his progression?
Yeah, really pleased for Sholey. Talk about the work we did sort of October, November, December last year. He was the standout. His weapon is the fact that he can go all day, and today he was able to show that in the last quarter. He stepped up and rose above. I thought his last quarter was top shelf. So for him, that's, as you said, a nice reward for him. He works up and down the ground all day for us. Often that wing position can be a tough one when it comes to possessions, but today, as he did last year at times, he got reward.
How's the skipper doing after that surgery? When can we see him back?
He's going well. We're fingers crossed the surgery goes well for him. He's got about 4 or 5 days now where he needs to rest, and so there's a little bit still to go through there. We're going to be really conservative with that because of obviously anything around the eyes. I'm no expert, but we won't take any chances. It could be anything from 2 to 4 weeks. We'll just see how he goes over the next few days.
Did that happen in the game last week, or how sort of he was training and then started having that little bit?
It's a hard one. We can't actually put a finger on when it happened, but he just had blurry vision during the week. Checked up with the doctor, and then we went in and had the relevant tests, and unfortunately it was some issues around detached retina, which he's had in the past and had operated on and fixed. So we'll, as I said before, be really conservative there. We're glad he actually came out and talked about that, because it could have been quite dangerous going into a game this weekend if he hadn't.
And Freo at home next week. Do you envisage any changes going into that game? Any guys to come back?
We got some guys pushing for selection, which is a positive. Boys had a really good result in the SANFL, and they got up over their opponents. So we'll have a couple that'll be knocking on the door, which is always a really positive thing when you've got that pressure from below. We'll see how the guys pulled up today. We didn't have any major injuries at this point, but we'll see what comes through from a medical and make some decisions from there.
There's a fair bit of dare with your ball use today. Even probably in the last quarter, you could have played a bit safer and tried to hold on to a lead. But was that something that you're sort of drilling into your players to take those kicks into the corridor when they're there?
When they're there, yeah, definitely. We'd like to take the game on when the opportunity shows itself. I thought the first quarter of the game was quite open, and our guys moved the ball really well. And I spoke about inefficiency. Our forward to centre really let us down. We had opportunities where it was almost we had an outnumber inside our forward 50, and we weren't able to just get the fundamentals right. That last pass, whether it's a handball or a kick. But as the game tightened up in the second and third, there were times where I would have liked the boys to maybe not take the corridor when it wasn't on. But we'll always encourage our boys to take the game on. Especially at Etihad, at Marvel. Sorry. The ball use, the ability to, the ball flies truly inside under the roof. So it was good. It was a good opportunity for some of our younger guys who hadn't played here to take the game on and really get going.
I reckon the Crows fans would enjoy the brand of footy you guys played today.
Well, I hope so. We had a number of them here, which was great. It was good to walk off the ground at the end and see a lot of the support that we do have in Melbourne, or those that have come across. And to get a win on the road, as I said, it's always a reward for them for driving over, or whether they are a Melbourne supporter. We've got huge support back home. It got us over the line last week, and today to have them here was just a bonus for us.
8 goals in the last quarter, and we've seen how good Taylor Walker's been all year, but he did obviously hit the scoreboard in the last quarter, the other guys stepping up. How pleasing is that knowing you've got so many other options who can stand up when, I guess, the game's tight like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you need. You can't rely on one, and to this point, you mentioned Tex. I mean, he's been outstanding. He's been the benchmark forward of the ball in the comp, and we've watched some of the stuff he's doing and smiled to ourselves in the box. He's been in pretty rare form, but today played a really important role. And as you said, I think the last quarter probably took Shane McAdam a little while to get going, but he was able to finish strongly after, not really getting into the game for 3 quarters. Lairdy was, his game today was probably the most outstanding for us. He had a lot of attention, being tagged, and really played a sacrificial role in the last quarter, which got the team over the line. I thought the way he prioritised his team, it's a really good sign for where we're heading. And even with that tag, I thought he was really influential throughout the game.
Going externally, there was a lot of expectation on you guys to not really contend that much, but you're sitting at 3-1 so far this season. Has the expectations within the club changed at all, or have you always seen yourselves as someone or a side that can win a fair few games of footy this year?
Well, the expectations haven't changed. Our expectation was for us to compete and play a brand of footy that people liked watching. Our members and supporters want to come to Adelaide Oval to watch us play. They want to come to Marvel and watch us play. We want to walk off the ground and be proud of the effort we've put out there. Now we've got the results across this first month, and that's the bonus. That's the reward that you take when you play a certain style. So there's no change in expectation. We'll continue to work on our game. We've got so much work still to do. We're a young group, and we've spoken about it, each week. With that comes the challenge of consistency. within today's game, we dropped away for a couple of quarters as far as the contest goes, and we gave our opposition a chance. We may not be able to do that some weeks. There might be weeks where you do that and the game's done. But again, as long as we walk off the ground and we've played the brand of footy we want to play, today we did that for enough time to get a result in the end. So.
All good? Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.